Welcome, petrol heads, to the rumble in Zandvoort, League Zero Formulas Round 10, where the laws of physics were suggestions, and the track, it seems, a mere guideline for the spectacular madness that ensued. This was not a race, it was an episode of Whose Line Is It Anyway? The points mattered, but the rules, apparently, did not. Now let's chat about Antonio Bianchi, shall we? Oh, Antonio, the maestro of Zandvoort, who danced across the asphalt like Nureyev in a Nomex suit. Finishing in P1, Bianchi didn't just win, he practically waltzed to victory lane, presumably to the bewilderment of those who thought the finish line was somewhere on the beach. Bravo, Bianchi, for showing us that when it comes to winning, it's not just about the speed, it's about not getting lost on the way. Jace Meyer, in P2, was the human embodiment of surprise. Like finding a tenner in an old pair of jeans, Meyer popped up in second, a position so unexpected, one wonders if he himself knew how he got there. Did he navigate or blunder his way through the chaos? We may never know, but there he was, gleaming on the podium like a mislabeled bottle in a wine rack. Out of place, but pleasantly surprising. Richard Li3, our P3 finisher, deserves a pat on the back, or perhaps a gentle sob into a comforting shoulder. Climbing to third in a race that had more ups and downs than a day trader's portfolio, Li3 showed the resilience of a cat with 9 lives, presumably using up a good 7 of them along the way. Richard, you are the Schrodinger's cat of racing, both a winner and a casualty of fate until observed on the podium. But where there are heroes, there must also be the others. Let's take a moment for Xavier Senard, whose race seemed inspired by a demolition derby. Running into trouble in Sector 1, Senard treated us to a masterclass in how not to start a race, presumably confusing the accelerator with a request for immediate mechanical sympathy. Xavier, dear boy, this is not how you make friends on the track. And then there's Arturo Mayorga, who found himself in P6 by the end. Arturo's performance was akin to a roller coaster operated by a maniac, thrilling, unpredictable, and leaving spectators wide-eyed and clutching their lunch. If inconsistency were an art, Mayorga would be Picasso, painting his race with broad, erratic strokes that somehow formed a picture of, well, something. Felipe Sarkis, finishing in P5, deserves a mention too. Sarkis spent so much time in and out of the pits, one might assume he was on commission. Felipe, in a display of commitment that would put a Saint Bernard to shame, turned pit lane into his personal catwalk, strutting in and out with a frequency that suggested he might have left his phone charger back there. In this grand carnival of combustion engines, let us not forget our valiant losers and bewildered midfielders, who, despite their best efforts, treated us to a spectacle of spins, pits, and the occasional moment of racing brilliance. They're the real stars, folks, like clowns at a rodeo. They might not always stay on the bull, but by Jove, they're entertaining. So, as we bid farewell to Zandvoort, let's remember Round 10, not just for the winners, but for the glorious pandemonium that unfolded. It was a reminder that in the world of League Zero Formula, anything can happen, and it usually involves spending more time in the gravel than on the track. Onwards, sideways, and occasionally forwards, to the next round.